Real Madrid script writers meeting.
People, it's time for our weekly injury roulette, our weekly tradition to pick the player who gets injured this week.
But why can't one player take all injuries every week?
Ha 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 ha! Speaking of legends, he is.
Amen, amen, amen.
The legends have left the club and all we have is rookies for this year.
Okay, so we have these guys available and let's spin the wheel. And it's Carvajal again.
Carvajal, Carvajal, Carvajal.
But why me again? Just why?
Because winning comes at a price.
Let's start this episode with the only believable transfer news that we got this week before we get into the Matchday recap and injury updates. Real Madrid is reportedly setting a deadline for Kylian Mbappe to decide whether to join the club on a free transfer. With Mbappe's contract at PSG set to expire at the end of the season, Real Madrid wants a decision from the forward by mid-January. If a deal is not reached by then, Real Madrid will move on to alternative targets, with Erling Haaland from Manchester City being at the top of the wish list. Mbappe is free to negotiate a pre-contract agreement with foreign clubs starting January 1st, and Real Madrid is keen to avoid a situation similar to 2022, where Mbappe had a last-minute change of heart and extended his contract with PSG. Now, since we got that out of the way, let's start reviewing the matches. In a bid to maintain their position at the pinnacle of La Liga, Real Madrid faced Granada at the Santiago Bernabeu. The hopes were on Jude Bellingham and Rodrygo to continue their red-hot form. Here's a recap of the key moments and highlights from the match. Andre Lunin continued his starting role in goal, with Kepa Arrizabalaga making his return on the bench. Joselu led the attack, supported by Brahim in an offensive role. Toni Kroos featured in midfield, showcasing his consistency. Dani Carvajal, the seasoned campaigner, wore the captain's armband for the home side. The initial phase saw a relatively slow start, marked by an injury and uneventful set pieces. The game sparked to life when Toni Kroos delivered a precise pass to Brahim, who clinically scored the opening goal by just chipping all over the keeper, setting the tone for Madrid's dominance. A potential penalty shout and a missed opportunity by Joselu were the other notable moments before halftime. Jude Bellingham showcased his goal-scoring intent early in the second half, forcing a good save from the Granada goalkeeper. Rodrygo capitalized on a rebound, doubling Madrid's lead with a well-taken goal. Valverde aimed to extend the lead, but the Granada keeper made impressive saves to deny further goals. Despite Granada offering minimal challenge, Real Madrid maintained control and comfortably closed out the game. Final score was Real Madrid 2 goals, Granada 0. Real Madrid secures another vital victory, defending their top spot in La Liga with a composed and efficient performance. Brahim Diaz's clinical finish and Rodrygo's goal contributed to the team's success. Rodrygo continued his outstanding goal-scoring form by netting his 7th goal in 5 games. His confidence and cutting-edge performance have been crucial for Real Madrid. The defensive stability, coupled with attacking prowess, reflects Madrid's well-rounded approach. Antonio Rudiger, a consistent presence in Real Madrid's defense, played his 17th start of the season. The need for rest and rotation becomes evident, especially with the risk of injury. Despite the favorable circumstance of a home game against a struggling team, Rudiger played the full 90 minutes. Joselu's recent form has been concerning, with limited involvement in play and a lack of connection. Despite Ancelotti's show of faith with consecutive starts, Joselu needs to find consistency in his performance. Jude Bellingham, an ever-present force, continues to make a significant impact in the midfield. Jude Bellingham, the 20-year-old midfielder for Real Madrid, spoke about his time at the club and the influence of manager Carlo Ancelotti. Bellingham, who is set to receive the Golden Boy Award, credited Ancelotti for finding the right position for him and giving him the freedom to excel in the team. Despite his success on the pitch, Bellingham admitted to struggling with learning Spanish, expressing his determination to improve. Bellingham also praised fellow newcomer Arda Güler, an 18-year-old talent at Real Madrid. While injuries have kept Güler off the field so far, Bellingham sees him as a fantastic player with a promising future. Jude Bellingham, on winning the Golden Boy Award with a remarkable 97% score, expressed his immense satisfaction and gratitude for being honored with such a prestigious accolade. The 20-year-old midfielder has had an outstanding season, contributing significantly to Real Madrid's success with 15 goals and 4 assists in La Liga and the UEFA Champions League. In his remarks after the award ceremony, Bellingham thanked everyone for the honor and acknowledged the significance of joining the esteemed group of footballers who have received the Golden Boy. He shared his enthusiasm for playing with both the English national team and Real Madrid, expressing his joy despite the pressure and his commitment to winning trophies with both teams. Bellingham also reflected on the surreal feeling of being a Real Madrid player, emphasizing his happiness and pride in wearing the prestigious white jersey. He concluded by stating his ambitious goals and determination to continue improving, enjoying the game, and contributing to the success of both his national team and Real Madrid. Real Madrid's consistent run of form showcases their determination to stay at the summit of La Liga. The Santiago Bernabéu remains a fortress, and the team's unity and skill are evident in every match. As Real Madrid navigates through a challenging period of injuries, each victory becomes crucial in the pursuit of La Liga glory. And on the road to La Liga, Real Madrid is bound to face Real Betis on next matchday. Real Betis faces challenges ahead of their clash with Real Madrid, particularly in defense. With Hector Bellerin suspended, and doubts surrounding Youssouf Sabaly's knee injury, the right-back position presents a concern. William Carvalho's absence due to a muscular injury further depletes Betis' midfield options. Additionally, Marc Bartra's Achilles tendon problem compounds their defensive issues. Nabil Fekir's setback delays his return, and Rodri is questionable due to physical discomfort. The match against Real Madrid will be a test for Betis, and they'll need to navigate these absences to secure a positive result. Real Madrid, despite a string of injuries, continues to perform well. Luka Modric's return to training is a positive sign, but midfielders Eduardo Camavinga and Aurelien Tchouameni won't feature until next year. Vinicius Jr. aims for a January return, while long-term absentees Thibaut Courtois and Eder Militao face uncertainties. Dani Carvajal's calf problem interrupts his strong form, and fans await Arda Güler's debut. Real Madrid's ability to maintain their impressive form despite these challenges speaks to the squad's depth and resilience. The history between Real Betis and Real Madrid suggests a potential defensive battle, with 3 of their previous 5 encounters ending in scoreless draws. However, Real Madrid boasts the best defensive record in La Liga, and is among the league's top scorers. The upcoming match will be a strategic test for both sides, and while goals may be scarce, Real Madrid enters as the more likely scoring team based on recent performances. Since we got all the match news out of the way, let's head towards the unfortunate injury news. Real Madrid's Dani Carvajal has been diagnosed with an injury to the soleus muscle in his left leg, as confirmed by the club's medical services. The injury is expected to keep him out for approximately 2 weeks, pending further developments. While it's not a major injury, the club will approach his recovery cautiously, recognizing the sensitivity of muscle injuries. During Carvajal's absence, Lucas Vázquez is likely to assume the right-back position, with Nacho Fernandez serving as a replacement when needed. Carvajal has been in excellent form this season, and Real Madrid will hope for a smooth recovery, allowing him to regain his confidence and momentum. If all goes according to plan, the earliest possible return for Carvajal would be on December 21st against Alaves. However, considering the cautious approach to his recovery and the proximity to the Christmas break, it's possible that he might miss the rest of the month. Tobias, who joined Real Madrid in April 2022 from Shakhtar Donetsk, is reportedly being considered for a potential debut with the first team. The 18-year-old defender's name has previously surfaced as an option for Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti, and given the current situation in the first team, Tobias may have the opportunity to make his debut. Real Madrid signed Tobias during UEFA's relaxation of transfer regulations for players in Ukraine after the war. Although the club did not activate the purchase clause after his first year, they chose to renew his loan to provide him with another opportunity. This season, Tobias has played a more significant role for Real Madrid Castilla, impressing in defense and contributing 3 assists. He is now seen as an emergency option to cover the right-back position for the first team. Tobias has been part of training sessions with the senior squad and has been called up to the squad twice by Ancelotti, raising the possibility of a debut in the near future. Speaking of future superstars, it feels like Florentino Perez is on a mission to sign every young Brazilian wonderkid. The saga started from signing of a young Vinicius Jr., and now in 2023, after the success of the strategy to sign potential talents, we are speaking about Endrick, a 17-year-old striker signed by Real Madrid last December, who has achieved success by winning his second Brasileiro title with Palmeiras. Despite interest from various clubs, including Barcelona, Real Madrid secured his services in a deal worth €35 million plus add-ons and additional costs. Luis Suarez, who plays for Grêmio in Brazil and is a former Barcelona player, expressed his preference for Endrick to have joined Barcelona. Suarez praised the young talent, mentioning that he would have liked to see him at Barca. However, he acknowledged that Endrick has the right to make his own decisions and enjoy his football. Endrick will officially join Real Madrid next summer, once he turns 18. Despite some skepticism about the significant investment in a young player without European experience, Real Madrid has shown confidence in Endrick. Recent reports indicate that the club is impressed with the teenager's mentality and sees similarities to the legendary Pelé in his style of play. And guess who else will be available in 2024? The number 7, the superstar. Real Madrid's forward Vinicius Jr., who was initially expected to be out until February 2024, has shown positive signs of recovery. The 23-year-old Brazilian recently stepped out on the grass and trained with the ball, indicating progress in his rehabilitation. While this doesn't necessarily mean an immediate return, it is reported that Vinicius aims to be fully fit for Real Madrid's Spanish Super Cup match against Atletico Madrid on January 10, 2024. Initially, there were concerns that Vinicius might not be available until February, but if he manages to return for the Spanish Super Cup, it would be a significant boost for Real Madrid. The team has seen players like Rodrygo and Brahim stepping up in recent matches, but having Vinicius back, especially for crucial knockout matches, would provide additional confidence to the squad. Also, adding to that, Real Madrid is anticipating a double boost, as Aurelien Tchouameni and Arda Güler are likely to return in time for the game against Villarreal before the mid-season break. There is confidence within the club that their recoveries are progressing swiftly, and they could reappear for the last home game of 2023 on December 17 against Villarreal. If not available for that match, the club will prioritize caution and avoid rushing them for the away game against Deportivo Alavés, the last match before the mid-season break. In case they miss the Villarreal match, their return might be scheduled for the game against Mallorca in early January after the Christmas break. There are no fixed dates for the return of other injured players like Eduardo Camavinga, Vinicius Jr., Dani Carvajal, Eder Militao, and Thibaut Courtois. Vinicius Jr. might not return until the UEFA Champions League knockout stages, while Camavinga and Carvajal could be back in time for the Spanish Super Cup. Militao and Courtois are expected to return in the final phase of the campaign. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. To wrap up the episode, let's quote Isco, who was a Real Madrid player back in 2018, when he quoted, "I am in the best team in the world. There is no club bigger than Real Madrid."